Welcome to Heal the New Sex, where we discuss all things self-love, healing, and relationships for millennial women. My name is Cynthia, and today I want to talk about how to date intentionally as a Christian woman. This is going to be a series because there's many things that I want to discuss as it relates to dating as a Christian woman and being intentional about it. So I'm looking down because I have a few notes. First, I want you, what's important is to identify what you believe. We hear these things like there's pee in the dating pool and there's not any good men left. You may even have encountered if you're around my age, you should have got married younger, but you have to address whatever negative internalized beliefs you have about dating, right? Women who are successful in dating have a positive attitude and a positive mindset. They know that there's a man out there for them, and they know that they are his dream girl. Okay. So I want you to challenge those negative mindsets. A young lady mentioned in my comments that she has a health issue that prevents her from having children, and she doesn't know if there's a man out there that will want her. And the answer is absolutely yes. Okay. Absolutely yes. One, we believe God is a healer. And two, just because you can't have physical children doesn't mean that you may not adopt. And he may have children already. So address those mindsets. I'm going to say mind shifts, but address those mindsets that make you believe that there's not a man out there that's doing the same work, right? He may be having the same thoughts, so he will have to address his mindsets as well. So address your mindsets. You have to believe. Address that unbelief, okay? Whatever it is, address it, and reject anyone or any advice that tells you that there's not a man out there for you to date and marry, okay? Number two, when you are dating, you need to be intentional about what you want. We don't want no entanglements. We don't want no situationships. We don't want any of that. If you are a Christian woman, I know that you are dating for marriage. Now, I know there may some of you that may be like, Smithia, I'm not doing that again. I kind of want a companion, but I want to talk about what it is biblically. We're dating for marriage. Now, some people use courting. I use the word dating. Okay. So be intentional and clear about what it is that you want. I know sometimes, women kind of go with the flow. They don't speak up as to what it is that they want, but you need to speak up and be very clear what it is that you want so that your time doesn't get wasted. Okay. Make sure that your dating aligns with biblical principles, okay? As a Christian woman, there's do's and don'ts as it relates to dating, okay? And so you want to ensure that you are following the biblical principles as it relates to your dating. Now, we have different convictions, okay? So I don't want to get too in the weeds with that because your convictions as it relates to dating may be different from mine. We know that we're not supposed to have sex before marriage, okay? We're not moving in before marriage. I think that's basic, but there may be some convictions that you have that I don't have, so I don't want to get in the weeds with that, okay? But make sure that both of your dating patterns align with biblical principles and practices. Something that you could do is that you could create a dating mission, right? Which is different than the list. I say ditch the list. There's women who've written this extensive list about what it is that they want. But I think that a dating mission is more important because with a dating mission, you first identify who you are. I think that every woman is not created equal. So all of us are different. And it's important to know who you are because that gives you a clue to the type of man that would be attracted to you and also who you're attracted to, right? And when I mean attracted, I'm not talking about physical appearance. I'm talking about the characteristics that a man has and also his purpose, okay? Right? So I believe that our purposes will align. I believe that some of our interests will align, but it's important for you to know who you are because if you know who you are, you know what you need, you know what you want, you know what you desire, okay? So in your dating mission, first start off with who you are. What areas are you wounded in? What areas do you need to heal? Start there, okay? Next, you're going to talk about in this mission, what is it that you want? Okay, what type of man, what characteristics, what temperament do you need, right? And I'm not talking about like there's some women like, I want him to be a little rough around the edges, but I want him to love Jesus. But there is a way that you want to be cared for, and you teach people how to treat you. And so it's very important that you know what you need. Do you need a man who's very communicative, or do you not need that? Okay, just for example. So write about what it is that you need in your relationships. And when you're writing this, don't write this based off of what you've experienced in the past. Sometimes what happens is we get our heart broken and then we say, well, I'm going to do the opposite of that. And that may not be what you need. You need to do a deep dive into who you are and how you're wired, and then what type of man would complement that, because we are to complement each other, forgive me. And then also the last thing, you want to know what areas you won't compromise in. So like I mentioned, not moving in before marriage, not having sex before marriage. Some people even believe that we don't kiss before marriage. Some people believe that we don't go to each other's homes, by ourselves. So we don't spend a lot of time alone. We spend time out in public. So you need to know in what areas you won't compromise. Are you not going to do long distance? If you're a woman, you're single, you've never been married, and you don't have children, one of your non-negotiables, an area you won't compromise in, is that you want a man who hasn't been married and who doesn't have children. And so you need to know, as a part of this dating mission, what are you not compromising on? Okay, that's very clear. The reason why it's important to write it down on paper is because there's a lot of things that we have in our mind, but then when it comes to actually happening, we may bend. But if you write it down, if you know what your purpose is, if you know what your mission is as it relates to dating, the areas where you won't compromise on, you know how you need to be taken care of, because you are the manual for you. It makes it easier to identify who you're compatible with when you're outside. Okay. Finally, and I'm going to get out of your way, right? I need you to focus on healing before you date, but also being intentional in your healing, whether that's with a coach, whether that's self-help, or whether that's with therapy. Oftentimes with women, we usually take a long time to heal. Now, I don't know if we take a long time to heal or if we just shelter ourselves once our heart is broken. It's my mission and desire to help you get to a place in your healing that when you do go back out there to date, that you're able to date as if your heart was never broken, right? Remember when we were younger, we had that kitty love, that first love we ever had. I think many of us are chasing that, but we're fearful of putting ourselves out there to receive it, okay? But going back to the healing, let me tell you this. There are some therapies that I do that reduce and eliminate symptoms related to the word that rhymes with drama but starts with the T. I don't want to say it on here because they may flag my video, okay? Within 5 weeks. So as it relates to healing, it doesn't have to be a long process, okay? Now, sometimes I see women taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years to heal. And yes, right? It may be because of the injury that they experienced, but I believe with intentionality and with guidance that you can be out there. You can be out there back in the dating scene within a year. Okay. So find someone that can help you heal before you date. I'm going to do a video about the importance of healing before you date, and also about using discernment in your dating. I want you to comment below if there is a specific topic that you want me to discuss as it relates to being intentional in your dating. I hope you like this video, so be sure to like. And if you're new here, also give your girl a subscribe, okay? Again, my name is Cynthia, and this is Heal the New Sexy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.